Andy, let's talk a little bit about Scrumming, because they're showing on South African TV some games in the 80s, some games in the 70s. We never saw this down, reset, reset, reset. Today, it's touch, pause, engage. 90% is going down. It's a reset. What I don't understand, and I'm going to give you enough time to talk about this whole thing, what I don't understand sometimes, the ball is actually out at the feet of the number 8, out of the scrum. Scrum goes down, whistle goes, reset. In all fairness, that ball should just be going up and play should continue. Explain to us firstly, why did they make the scrums so complicated? And of course, firstly, coaches and players trying to find all the shortcuts to get the advantage. And you know and I know, Scrum is far more important than people want to actually acknowledge, because physically that's the only time that I can actually dominate you as a weaker Scrum.
Now, so I think, let's start at there's three things I need to mention in the beginning. One, I don't think that the referees on Currie Cup level and Super 14 level get enough coaching of what's the correct form of binding, scrumming techniques, etc. I believe if they also do a coaching course, even a level 3 course on scrummaging, and there I want to use a name like Barley Swart, they involve him also. Not all the refs understand the dynamics of scrumming. I think that's one point. That's why the refs don't get it right in the scrums, and that's why I believe there's so many resets. Secondly, players are naughty, but that's why the ref is there, you must sort them out. And thirdly, and I think in a lesser sense, coaches sometimes are naughty. Because I remember reffing a game between Natal and the Blue Bulls, and Ian Mack said to me afterwards, he said, doesn't matter what you wanted to do there at the scrum, I told them to go down with the scrum because I want the penalty so we can kick over and get the 3 points. Alright, so, but I think that's in the minute side. So let's go back to the scrum. I think the first thing that the refs don't watch when they go before they engage, long before they go out with touch, pause and engage, is how far the players are apart.
How far
the
do
front
they have to be apart?
Well, when we refereed, we say about an arm length.
Okay.
Because, and when I say that, I'm talking about feet position.
Okay.
Because it comes back, if the feet is far apart and they go touch, pause, engage, they go in a crouch position, and then they engage like that. But if the feet is too far apart, what happens? That happens.
They're falling down.
So they get an engagement point where the shoulders are almost below the hips.
Going down.
And there's only one way you can go with 900 kilograms behind you, you got to go down because that's a point of injury. So they must watch how far the feet is apart. And if they get that a little bit closer.
Okay, well now, wait now. If that's too close,
They won't
you're
be
not
able
going to, no, but you're not going to get a hit on me, and you know, and explain to people what the hit actually means.
Yeah.
But that's what it's all about in Scrum, isn't
Well,
it?
you got to get a decent hit in Scrum. I think it's the most important part of the game almost, because that's where you dominate or don't dominate. And if you have the feet far enough, in a good distance apart, you'll get a decent hit. You'll get a solid hit. And secondly, comes the binding. And the culprit binding there is the loose head.
Okay.
If the loose head binds like that, you have a problem. Tight head can take him in, all those things. If the loose head binds a long arm and turns his elbow up, there's no ways the tight head can take him in. And this was proven to us by top international front row players. Jason Leonard played for the Lions. In the IRB session we had, he took us and said, "Hey, scrum against me." So we went down on Jason and he said, "Alright guys, go down like this and go down like that." When we were like that as referees, he couldn't take our arm in. So the loose head was bind straight. Underneath, get the elbow up, scrums will be stable.
Okay, but wait now, because you're leaving yourself open now for a question.
Yes.
Why do they allow the tight head to actually take him in? Doesn't matter how he binds.
But it comes down the way the loose head is binding. The loose head wants to bind underneath the arm here illegally, so that he can push the tight head.
Illegal.
Yeah. So that he can push the tight head in this way, so that he can step with his left foot out to take the tight head in to try and buy a penalty.
Okay.
So when you watch the feet of the loose head, if they step out, I think 1 or twice in the World Cup they were penalising players for saying they were stepping out. They were actually moving the buttocks out like that and step and then try and go in. But they can't do that if they don't bind underneath like that, the loose head. A loose head that binds long on the pants, long like that. You don't have to look at his feet because he can't go in like that. He just want to go forward.
Yeah, but Andy, it's unbelievable the way you've been explaining it. But what worries me, as firstly a supporter, secondly as an analyst, and a guy that are actually there for fair play. You explaining to us the whole time, this player is doing something wrong, that player is doing something wrong. Isn't that all really coming now down to coaching, of an attitude of a coach, going onto the field, you as a player, play a fair game? The way you've been explaining it, the tight head's trying this, the loose head's trying, that's not fair play, is it?
I agree. And you can see the positive coaches. You speak to positive coaches, what's the kind of fair play? You'll see, for instance, if I can use the Crusaders. How many reset scrums do they get? Much lesser, and the Reds, much lesser reset scrums than last Super 14 and any other of the sides in the lower bottom of the line. Why? Positive coaching.
Nice.
Because the coach wants to use the scrum as a platform for attack. So the coach plays a major role in the whole resetting on the scrum. I also believe that the referees, the way they call the touch, pause, engage is not consistent.
Yeah, that's a big problem, man.
And I personally don't like the touch, pause, engage.
Okay, give us on air a proper touch, pause, engage that actually allows the two scrums to scrum decently.
Okay, they will stand, you say touch, pause, engage.
Okay.
Break in between. I don't like the touch, pause, engage. I like the touch, engage.
Why did they start this whole thing with touch, pause, engage? Because it wasn't there in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and scrums actually work quite nice.
Yeah, I mean, even when we refereed, when I stopped in 2005, there was no pause, just touch and engage, because the players anticipate the heat. Now, if they're not consistent with the gaps in between touch, pause, engage, the players anticipate and they want to go forward. That's what's happening currently. The players want to go forward, this and the guy's going to go forward, and then they eat. And I got this soft, sissy whistle, and I said, stand up. And the rest are not strict enough also when they engage the first time wrongly, not on their call. A guy like Steve Dickinson, I think he's doing it actually very well. Because when they do it wrong in the first scrum and they engage early, he's hard on the whistle and he says, guys, I'm not going to allow this. This is what I want. And it stops. Some referees I think they negotiate too much with the players.